Go ahead.
All right, so our topic is about the Health and Human Services. Just a little bit about HHS, the Department of Health and Human Services. Their mission statement is it is the mission of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to enhance and protect the health and well-being of all Americans. We fulfill that mission by providing for effective health and human services and fostering advances in medicine, public health, and social services.
So the way that HHS does that is it oversees 27 agencies that provide health services, conduct research, and protect and serve all Americans. Some of those that we've probably reviewed before you might recognize are CDC, CMS, FDA, NIH, and OIG.
So the way that the HHS is set up, they have a deputy secretary, chief of staff. They actually have a lot of positions titled secretary, but they all have different responsibilities. So you can just kind of see the chart. I mean, there's then the executive secretary. I don't even know how to say that word. Secretariat, and then the Office of Health Reform. You have the Office of Intergovernmental and External Affairs. You have the Office of Secretary, Office of Inspector General, Operating Division, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
And we were supposed to give some background information about the WT, Secretary Chief of Staff. Currently it is Sylvia Matthews Burwell, and she oversees 77,000 employees. She advises the president, and her main responsibility is to overlook the state of the health in the country. And in the past, she has helped Congress create budgets for HHS.
Just a little bit. Wait. So then you have the executive secretary. Yeah, that word I cannot say. So their responsibilities would be to manage development, they review regulations, they review disputes with the regulations, and then they report all that to Congress.
So the Office of Human Resources, they develop human resource programs and policies across a broad range of human resource matters. Partners with OPDIV to design and implement human resource programs that support and facilitate HHS's strategic goals and to promote effective management of our human capital. They provide oversight and support to the human resource centers within HHS. They also serve as a liaison to the Office of Personnel and other centralized personnel management agencies and organizations.
The Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, the IEA, they communicate between HHS and state and local and tribal governments and non-governmental organizations. So they facilitate communication and help represent external partners like private sectors, unions, profit and nonprofit groups, and national organizations. So this is the Office of Secretary Leaders. Like a lot of people have secretary positions, but they're all in charge of different things. So these are the current people who are in charge of some of these things, like Mary Kay Wakefield is the acting deputy secretary. Richard G. Frank is the assistant secretary for planning and evaluation, and then Daniel R. Levinson is the inspector general, Office of Inspector General, which is what we're going to talk about now.
And like she said, his name is Daniel R. Levinson, and his main responsibility is to oversee the integrity and efficiency of federal health and human services programs. He's a lawyer that's been working for them since President Reagan, and he oversees Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Administration for Children and Families, FDA, National Institutes of Health, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And he also manages 1,500 auditors, evaluators, investigators, and lawyers. And his main responsibilities also include preventing fraud and pretty much overseeing $1 trillion worth of programs.
So then talking about operating divisions, so these are like the different divisions that the HHS is over. So you have the Administration for Children and Families, you have Healthcare Research and Quality, but we're going to talk specifically for a second on Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
All right, so CMS is an agency within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and they're responsible for administrating health, Medicare, and also administration of Medicaid, overseeing the Children's Health Insurance Program, overseeing the Health Affordability and Accountability Act, oversees the Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendments.
And your next group will go into more detail about UMS, but that's all we have. And
All right, thank you guys for that presentation. I mean, the Health and Human Services is a big part of healthcare with regulations and whatnot. Obviously, with the Affordable Care Act, they played a huge role in that, in rolling that out, implementing it, and doing all that. So thank you for doing that research and presenting that to us in a nice way. It's I actually learned some stuff too, so that's fantastic. So I'm just going to ask you guys a quick question, each of you. Same question I ask everybody. So I'll start with you, Kylie. What was something new that you learned, or something that surprised you the most about the Health and Human Services?
Honestly, I had no idea what they were responsible for, so everything that we just talked about was all new to me. But I think it's really cool that we have an organization that oversees all of these other organizations. It kind of keeps everybody checked and balanced to make sure everybody's fulfilling their responsibilities to the best of their ability. And I think that's cool that we do have an organization that kind of runs all those other programs and make sure they're functioning well.
Jordan?
Actually, that's exactly what I was going to say. I had no idea that all these other programs that I've heard of, like the FDA and stuff, were all run underneath the HHS. I didn't realize they were kind of all led into the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see how many, like you pulled up that slide of all the secretaries under Health and Human Services, and I didn't count it, but I didn't realize I was probably close to 30 or 40 different secretaries there. Okay, not that many. I exaggerated a little bit. At least 20, right? That's a lot.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
So that's, I mean, it's interesting to see how many different people. I didn't realize that there was even some of these different areas, like the Center for Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. I didn't know that existed. I mean, obviously, there's the big ones like the Office of the Inspector General out there that a lot of people know about. But you learn new things every day. So, all right. So I'm going to stop the broadcast now.